The movie starts with Honor Rose getting ready for school and narrating her life and wishes right into the screen in the whole first half hour of the movie, which makes you frustrated. Like, dude, let me watch the movie. She is talking about those famous people pictures, how crap they are like herself, and she doesn't care about them, but they are the gods of her people, so either she worship them or she will be an outcast. She points out a book, a story about a woman who trapped somewhere in some dimension. She says she is not one of them. She wants to get out of this town by going to Harvard. Her mom, Janet Rose, a bread enthusiast. Her father, Marvin Rose, building something. On the way to school, she is talking to the screen about her golden ticket to Harvard. There are her friends, Talia and Emma. There is her guidance counselor and the key to the whole thing, and he asks her to his office later on for a good surprise. Again, she is talking how she has done all the tasks perfectly to get to Harvard, including volleyball, karate, helping community, and so on, and talking about her teacher, how she wanted to change the world, but she has stayed in this town until her dream has died. Talking about Coach Biggins, where did he studied, and how hardly he tried, but he failed in this town. Finally, she goes to Mr. Calvin's office. He is a music enthusiast and talks about his notes he plays, and Honor has to go along with, because he is the one who is holding the last door key to her wishes, and he obviously hitting on her. After half-hour mental harassment, finally he says she is in his top 4 choices, which she didn't expect it. She was thinking she would be the only one because of Mr. Calvin, but Mr. Calvin hasn't got what he wants from Honor yet, and she is not willing to give it, by saying she is cool with it, and thanks him for considering her in the list. And she knows who are those other 3 students in the list. Travis, with a good grade, beautiful girlfriend, an athlete, hard to get distracted. Kennedy, wearing a different classic scientist costume every day with no friends and no other interest other than studying. And the last one is Michael, nerd of nerds, she says. No friends, no life, no lunch. So she develops a plan by the help of her 2 friends to make them fail the midterm exams. She wants to find a guy to get Kennedy to the prime. She asks some guys, but no one is there to get close to Kennedy, and she asks her friends to check on Travis and his girlfriend to see what is lacking between them. And about Michael, she switches partners so she can be his partner and can work directly on him to fail the midterm. Her friends find nothing worthy about Travis, and then, as she and her friends talking about the plans that seems to be impossible, she sees the solved puzzle picture. By bringing in Kennedy and Travis in theater club, first she has to get into school theater. Then she suggests Gary, the head of the club, to bring Travis. And Gary is interested in Travis, and he knows that Travis is gay, so he gladly agrees to bring him. Then we see Michael and Honor are working as lab partners, and she's clearly seducing him. At night, she sends him her pictures hoping to distract him enough because tomorrow they have a quiz. Tomorrow, Mr. Calvin is begging people to come to the bar he wants to sing tonight, but no one is interested except Honor. She has to, for a reason. Students are getting ready for theater audition, but they don't have proper costumes, and Kennedy will want us to make one for each. And Travis shows up to the practice session. It is the last quiz before the midterm, and Honor is hoping to distract Michael enough. At night, she invites him to her house for studying together, and she plays with his soul and mind, which is funny, and Michael plays good, but there is some dark truth about him. Stay tuned, folk. Again, tomorrow, Michael is getting bullied, and Honor missions her friends to find out where he lives. Kennedy is working on those costumes, and students are performing some stage. Emma and Talia lose the trail on Michael. Honor goes to the bar to deal with Mr. Calvin's performance. Then a guy approaches her, and she threatens him for having drugs, and she gets them. Later on, she adds one in Mr. Calvin's beer to make him go to sleep so she can be safe. The next day, we find Mr. Calvin in the school playground. Talia and Emma are talking to Travis' girlfriend about how her boyfriend makes out with another girl on the stage, which later on Travis says he cannot continue this stage, and Honor suggests Gary to be the girl, so his girlfriend may not have a problem with the guy. At this point, Honor almost has successfully thrown her 2 opponents out of the competition, and she has Michael under her control too. At least that's what she thinks. This time, Honor herself tracks Michael on the way to his home. She finds out he's living in a foster house, and that is his foster mom, and Michael adds his mom can't afford to send him to college, so he has to study to get a scholarship, and Honor already is feeling some things. We see Gary and Travis performing some couple stuff. Then Travis is struggling to share his feelings about finding his true self, and he's worried about how to tell his dad about his sexual life. And Mr. Calvin is worried about Kennedy's grades, and Honor almost opens to say that it's her fault. But Kennedy hugs her and thanks her for changing her life by showing the theater club and theater groups and friends. But Michael, there is a big but about this cheeky little rabbit. She accidentally meets him somewhere around his home, and he talks about how he used to imagine his parents being alive and living in his favorite house in the town. He takes Honor to a luxurious house and says the owner is is not home and says he always sneaks in this house. At the school, her friends ask about Michael, and she says tonight he will come over to study and tomorrow he will know what he didn't. Travis breaks up with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend thinks that it's Honor's fault. She knows some karate, by the way. But soon everybody realizes that Travis is not interested in girls, and his girlfriend goes to his dad. Everybody panic, and Travis tries to explain. But his father says he knows that Travis is gay since he was 5 years old. Last night they study for the last exams. She thinks about dragging him, but she gives up. They study and Michael kisses her, but she stops him and says after the midterm. At this point, Honor giving up for Michael. The next day, she even partially gives up on her exam for Michael. After exam, she kisses him, and she says she likes him and thanks her friends for helping her. At night, she shares some text with Michael, and she is excited to meet him again. Next day at the school, Mr. Calvin is wondering about Honor, Travis, and Kennedy's grade has fallen except Michael's. And he says, but it doesn't mean that Honor is out because she means a lot to him. He tries hard to swallow the frog, but Honor says she is a child and can't sleep with him. She is excited to meet Michael, but he doesn't show up. So Honor goes to his house, and somebody says he is not living here. He lives where her mother works. The little girl says, he played her good. That is his house, and there is his mother, and that lady is his housemaid. He talks about how he knew all along the time when she was trying to play him, and how he made her friends miss his track so she can see why herself is made of house and life. Honor asks him about how he knew she would give up on the exam for him. He says by what she did to Travis and Kennedy. He adds that Honor could choose any number of ways to take them down, but what she chose to do showed that she had a heart and she cared about them. He says he just wanted her to care about him, and she did, so he used it. And Honor asks if he cares about her, but Michael says he wants to go to Harvard. She asks about him pretending to be a nerd all those years. He says he is a nerd, but that doesn't mean he is a good person. She is home. Her mother asks about Michael, and she says they are done. And her mother says good because something was off about him all the time. Then Honor says she wishes her mother told her that before. Outside, her father is excited finally he completed his project, and her friends Kennedy with other guys show up to take Honor to manage the backstage because finally it's the time to show what they have worked on during this whole time. Honor says she is out. She can't continue, and Kennedy says if Honor is out, she doesn't want to do it as well. So Honor goes with them. The show is awesome. Somehow Kennedy pulled out her classic genius obsession on those costumes. Gary and Travis kiss. At the end of the show, Honor talks about how she always tried to get out of this town, but in fact the only thing she was trying to escape from was herself. Plus, she has learned that if people worth it and you love them, they will love you back. She goes to Mr. Calvin's office where Michael is there waiting for the recommendation to be signed by Mr. Calvin, and he didn't sign it yet. She says good because maybe he want to reconsider it. She plays his voice recorded when he asked her to sleep with him. We call it blackmailing. Then he says she was always his first choice. And Honor says she doesn't want it, but she wants Kennedy to Harvard. And Mr. Calvin has no choice but to accept it. Yeah, screw Michael, that little bastard.